Yo guys, and welcome back towards this new video here on the channel. And on this exact time of recording, Bitcoin is breaking out, and that is why I am currently recording this update for you guys out there. So without any further ado, slap up that like button, subscribe to the channel, but especially like this video. The YouTube algorithm has been extremely hard to beat. Yesterday we achieved the 500 likes on yesterday's video, and can we today smash it up to 600? That will be absolutely incredible if we can do so. With that being said, guys, let's jump in towards the content. So do note on how the 1 hour time frame on Bitcoin has been forming these exponential moves towards the upside, formed this consolidation phase, formed another exponential move up here, and once again consolidates for a very well here. Right now what we can see is that we formed a downward sloping trend line here on this consolidation phase, and while we were consolidating towards that downside, Bitcoin right now broke this downward sloping trend here and starting to be breaking bullish again. Such kind of a breakout is definitely leading Bitcoin towards higher levels around the 42,000 US dollars, what is of course extremely exciting to look at. I'm personally also expecting really that continuation, since we have been already formed a bearish divergence so far, and I do think that there's still more room to grow, and yeah, for Bitcoin to touch that 42,000 US dollars. Of course, on these higher time frames, we've been already predicting this more bigger movement towards the upside, and right now to see this playing out perfectly on that 1 hour time frame is absolutely beautiful to see here. So what is going to be crucial for Bitcoin is definitely to take out this previous high here, because yeah, you can see we're already creating a very big wick on the top side, but what we do want to be seeing eventually is of course a continuation higher than the previous high on this market. Then really talk about the 4 hourly time frame. I personally think that this 4 hourly time frame is absolutely showing us that it is ready for a massive blast off towards the upside, and I'm talking about massive as like we could be moving towards 43, 44 in just a matter of a few hours, of course. So what we can see is that previous resistance over here got us very strongly rejected. Then if we're going to extend this trend line and we're going to look at it right now, you can see that that previous resistance zone is right now flipping into support and really holding us up here, and really previous resistance getting retested as support after a significant movement up here. It is for me just an indication that this is of course more fuel that's basically getting headed on towards the fire, and it is going to be absolutely exploding towards that upside after seeing such kind of a successful retest on such a strong previous resistance zone here. Then if you move further in towards more time frames, or wait, let me first talk about the RSI and the MACD here. We can also see that the MACD of course crossed bullish yesterday, and right now we're definitely in a bullish stage of the market. We are forming still some lower highs than the previous high over there, but it is alright on the MACD so far. So yeah, definitely very interesting what we can currently see here, but this retest really gives me a signal that we are ready for such another very big movement towards that upside territorium for Bitcoin. Then also real quickly re-evaluating, because I do still think we are at the beginning of this movement towards the upside. I've been warning you guys literally while we were trading on 39k. I said every single time Bitcoin created bullish divergence on the 12-hour time frame, we moved at least, guys, more than 30%. Here you can see 39% move here. Here we had an approximately 32% move, and here approximately we had another 30% move. So we move always at least 30% towards the upside. So really looking at the 30% target from here on already means that Bitcoin is going to trade on 50,000 US dollars. So is Bitcoin going to trade on 50k within the coming hours, within the coming days ahead of ourselves? There's a very big possibility that it is going to be yes, and will be this week. There is a very high probability that it could be this week, and the Bitcoin is really going to go in towards this more larger scale trend / market reversal. Also do know every single time we created a wick below this upward sloping support line, we moved up significantly, since at that point that's basically the point where we flush out longs and move up again, flush out longs, move up again, flush out longs, move up again. Right now we're definitely in a disbelief stage. A lot of bears still think we're going to come down, that this is a bull trap, but I personally think that the chance on a continuation is still likely. Just look at the 12-hour time frame, just look at the daily time frame. History is once again repeating itself here. Then also, if we're looking at the daily time frame, we can clearly see here this downward sloping trend line from the highs really coming down here, showing a lot of significance, adding a lot of significance, getting retested successfully, and right now we're starting to be bouncing from it. Of course, we could also take the approach for Bitcoin that we have been created here basically an inverse head and shoulders. You can see the left shoulder is getting created over there, the right shoulders here are getting created on the right side, and of course we formed a huge head here on the middle side of this pattern. So left shoulder, head, right shoulder, breakout. Then of course after the breakout you want to be seeing a retest is in, and then you're going to curve back up here. I personally think that this is a beautiful market structure to look at, and I personally think that this is a beautiful scenario on how to be approaching this market. Also looking, if you remove all the drawings, Bitcoin last time around, how did it top out on this market? It was basically forming a rounding top here. Like you can see, the tops were getting less exponential, and while we were starting to move down, it was also starting to get less exponential, and it really came down massively from of that region. Then, what are we doing right now? I will be quickly say we are forming a rounding bottom, because we're right now forming a low and less exponential lows, and we are coming up again. So where we were first forming a rounding top, we're right now forming a rounding bottom. And that is actually a pretty bullish signal if you would ask me, and that is definitely probably going to lead towards that continuation towards higher targets on this market. The main thing that I want to be saying to you guys out there, because you want to know when we can be ultra bullish, right? I am extremely bullish right now, but ultra bullish is even another step up here, and for me to become that is a break above the 48k region. 48k region, previous resistance, and what you can see here, the previous high in the market was basically getting rejected from of that point. And if, but a very big if, we can be breaking above this region and we flip it into support, we are going to be looking so strong. This is going to be a textbook analysis. This is going to be a textbook movement up here. And this is really going to be resulting in basically the parabolica getting started for Bitcoin. So yes, I am extremely excited about Bitcoin as soon as we do break above the 47k range. Yeah, it is still an approximately 5 or 6% ahead, or 10% ahead of ourselves. Yeah. It will be a very important region to look at to see how the market is really going to react towards this, of course. So what can we also see here on the BLX chart? On the Bitcoin weekly chart, I should say. Bitcoin weekly chart really bouncing very strongly from of the lower side of the support ranges. Yeah, this is been a pretty likely bounce that we were expecting. Also really giving this trend line towards the downside. You can clearly see previous resistance flipping into support, and right now we can see we found weekly support, double weekly support, and this bounce was definitely not expected. Of course, this bounce was pretty obvious if you would ask me, looking back at the weekly history of Bitcoin. So bounce really getting created. This could be also the touch point after a breakout of this downward sloping trend we have been seeing for the first time a retest, and that could be definitely the reason why we are right now going to be moving up again. And also another reason why I do think that 2022 in general, so I think these weekly timeframes are in general going to be moving up here, is because of this tweet from Plan C. Plan C tweeted about that an all-time high of 64% of the Bitcoin circulating supply has not been moved at least 1 year. So you can see in this chart that the amount of people, the 1+ year old supply is increasing massively, really suggesting that we are seeing a major buy signal because there are more and more hodlers coming in towards the market. And he's saying, I expect this metrics will top out around to 66 towards 68% before a major uptrend begins for crypto. And I mean, if we're looking back at historic action, and if we're looking back at the historic data from the 1+ year old supply, we do know that usually once we're touching that 60% region, Bitcoin tends to start a huge major bull run. And right now we're once again sitting in these stages where we can really start to see that bull run. Of course, the hodlers are really coming in from 2020, 2021. We're getting all kinds of new Bitcoin maxis that got exposed on Bitcoin in 2021 and 2020, basically. So that is definitely very exciting and a very cool tweet to look at, actually. Also, real quickly, talking about my trade here, it has been absolutely on fire, guys. And I would definitely should say to you guys out there, check out my Telegram in the link description for all my trading signals, and check out, of course, my Twitter for all other trading updates as well. But what I want to be saying here is that I opened this trade all together with you guys out there. We're currently 14% profit, more than $16,000 in profits, basically. But what is very important, I told you guys I was opening this trade. And so far, this trade is doing absolutely perfect. It's on fire, basically, I should say. So we're trading on 41.4k, doing absolutely amazing. And I will be definitely continuing this trade here. This is definitely a swing trade. I will be trying to keep it open as long as possible. And of course, as soon as the market does move up more significantly, I will be starting to be moving up my stop loss as well. Currently, I still got more levels where I do want to be accumulating on, because if Bitcoin is really going to come down, if Bitcoin is going to fall down towards 37k, I'm going to be buying more in towards this trade. I'm not going to exit it right now, or if we're falling below my entry, I'm not going to exit it. No, I'm going to add more and more towards my trading position. So that is definitely my strategy right now here, what I'm planning to do with this trade. And I'm definitely very excited about where we could be trading it towards, all the way towards the top, of course. So it has been pretty exciting, of course, on this video. While I started with a pump, Bitcoin is right now coming down again, and it is really retesting that lower range of support. So there could be a possibility for a fake out. There could be a possibility for a big wick on the lower side again and move up again. So I will be definitely stay patient. What I will be saying to you guys out there is follow me on Twitter and stay posted over there, because over there I will keep you guys up to date about exactly what is currently going on. Currently we are retesting the lower side of support again, so that is actually a pretty obvious range where we could start to be bouncing back from. So yeah, a lot of volatility. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this content. It will be highly appreciated if you could do so, and we'll check you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.